Hi, my friend. Are you ready to be found online wherever your dream clients are searching? Are you looking to make your marketing make sense? Do you want to be able to confidently make decisions about your marketing so that you can stop wasting your time and money and really know what to focus on to grow your business? If so, you are in the right place, and I am so excited to have you here. Let's jump right in. Hi there, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, I want to talk about finding content topics that your ideal customer is going to care about and be interested in and want to read, and you can use for SEO and GEO, which is our AI SEO generative engine optimization, or basically visibility on ChatGPT, Perplexity, and other AI search tools. So we really want to think about how do we find the right content topics or the right ideas so that we know we're creating content that is going to have an audience. Because if you've ever written a blog post and felt like your mom or your grandma or your best friend was the only person who actually read it, you know how frustrating and disheartening that can be because you feel like you're putting all this time and effort into creating this content for your audience, and it's just going and living in that black hole of content on the internet, and it's not actually doing anything to help grow your business. And you and I both know how frustrating that is. Nobody wants to spend time writing, recording a podcast, creating a video, and have it not do anything. Have nobody see it, read it, listen to it, watch it. So let's talk about this. How do we make sure that we're finding the right content ideas and that we can use them for visibility through our GEO and SEO tools that really, honestly, it's just all SEO. It's just doing a little bit more from a formatting standpoint for our AI search friends. So the first thing we're going to do is we're really going to think about our ideal customer, our dream client, our ideal customer avatar, etc. If you have not yet really dug into that, stay tuned because we're going to talk about it more in about 2 weeks. I'm going to address like how to really think about them and how to put together a good online marketing plan and all of that. But for right now, if you've got an ideal customer avatar, you've got a good idea who your customer is, great. If you don't yet, but you're an established entrepreneur, you've got a business, you've had customers, you've made some money, I want you to just think about your favorite customer that you work with. That's a good place to start. Your very favorite customer that you work with, the ones that you hear from them, you get an email and you're like, oh yeah, oh, I'm so happy to hear from this person. I want to stay in touch. I want to help them again. I want them to come back because that's who you want more of those great customers. So now think about them. And think about the questions that they have that relate to your business. We want to stay focused on things that relate to your business because remember, you're an entrepreneur, you have a business. We don't want to create a bunch of content without a strategy in place because it's going to be willy-nilly. It's not going to really help us make money. And your ultimate goal as an entrepreneur to be successful is to make money and to have a profit. We need to make sure we're making a profit in order for our business to succeed and be able to pay ourselves. So we want to really think about that ideal customer, and then we want to think about what questions do they have that pertain to areas that we can help them with. So what I teach my students to do is to choose 4 content topic pillars or 4 content areas that they're going to talk about over the course of a month. So when creating content, you want to break your topics into 4 pillars, and you want to make sure that those pillars tie back to products or services that you offer so that you're bringing in people who are interested in what you have or who will see you as a solution. So for me, as an example, just to kind of help you understand, here on this podcast and on the blog, I talk about SEO, search engine optimization. I talk about online marketing. I talk about marketing strategy, podcasting, and then sometimes I talk about email marketing. And if you know my business, you know I offer the Simple SEO Content Program, which is SEO and content focused. Then I offer a Simple Podcast SEO program, and that is podcasting focused. Then I offer the Confident Marketers Club that's coming in early 2026. So that's where the marketing strategy pieces come in. And then I also have Elite Marketing Coaching, which is one-on-one done with you marketing. And that's where all the little pieces can fall together depending upon what you need for your business. But do you see how I looked at what I offer, and then I looked at what questions does my ideal customer have, and then I broke my content pillars into those areas. So this particular podcast episode could address somebody who's interested in SEO because we're talking about content. We're talking about how we get traffic from an SEO standpoint, but it could also attract someone who's interested in marketing. We could also potentially attract someone who's interested in podcasting here because they can use these same ideas as podcast episodes to connect with the right customer. So we're really trying to make sure that we're staying very focused on our ideal customer, the information they need, how we help them, and that we are positioning ourselves as a guide that can help them to learn. So now that we've kind of talked about what type content pillars you choose, so I want you to go through and think about your business. What are 4 ways that you could categorize the content on your website or your podcast? And how do they tie back to your products or services? That's going to be really important. So start with your ideal customer, then go into the content topic areas. Then to come up with some ideas of content topics, think about the questions that your customers ask. If you have customers and you hear from them on a regular basis, think about the questions that they ask you, especially the ones that you are answering again and again and again, because those are going to be really good topics because that tells you they're very interested in this and there's a lot of interest in this particular topic. You can also use some content research tools. I teach these inside of the Simple SEO content group, but a couple of them that are very fun and very helpful would be Google suggested search, where you go into Google and you just start typing keywords that are related to your business and you see what Google pops up, what Google suggests, because Google suggested search gives you insights into what people are searching for right now. You can also use Answer the Public. It's another research tool. It is now overlaying the information since Neil Patel bought it, and it's moving in to be kind of part of Neil Patel's world or Uber Suggest. It actually also now gives you some search volume information, which is great. It did not do that previously when it was owned by a different entity, but Neil Patel bought it, I don't know, a year or so ago and has been making quite a few changes to it. So you can also look for ideas that you can use. Like if you have keywords everywhere, that's one of the plugins that I like, or Uber Suggest, you can go in and start just looking for some keywords that you could potentially use. We often see keywords as questions, which can be great for content ideas. You could go to ChatGPT and ask it to give you some ideas for content that would work for your ideal customer. If you're one of my students, remember, if you're in Simple SEO content, you do have access to the custom GPT that I created for you that does this. Go in, make sure you've got your documents uploaded, remember your ideal customer guide and all of that, and then go into that content GPT that I created for you and use it to come up with ideas. It's getting pretty slick. I've been working on it quite a bit for myself and it's getting pretty good. From there, you're going to brainstorm some ideas. Let's just focus on a month at a time. So let's look at January 2026. I want you to start working on that. So come up with 4 ideas if you have your 4 topic areas. 4 ideas, one for each of those topic areas. Remember, they tie back to your freebies, your goods, your services, your products. And then write a blog post and write one for each of those topics, for each of those areas. Make sure you optimize it so that you can have some additional visibility through SEO. So choose a keyword, use that in all the places that Google's going to look to understand what it's about. Then make sure you're formatting it for AI SEO. Now, if you're not sure what to do for Google or AI SEO, you know that the freebies tab on my website at shmarketing.com/freebies has all of my freebies. There, you're going to find a beginner's guide to SEO. That's going to be your traditional SEO. You're also going to find a beginner's guide to AI SEO. That's for ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc. Go ahead and request both of those. Those are going to give you the guides that are going to help you walk through what you need to do from an SEO and now a GEO or AI SEO standpoint so that you are visible wherever your ideal customer is searching. If you have a podcast and you want to understand how to do that, get the podcast SEO guide as well while you're there. I've created the freebies to help you. Go ahead and download them, request copies of them. You're going to get a few emails from me because they're different, opt-in nurture sequences. So you will get a few emails if you request several of them, but they're there to help you. Write your copy, optimize it, put it out into the world. That, my friend, is how you create content ideas that your ideal customer is interested in, that they care about, and that can be visible in Google, podcasting, and AI SEO. It's all about creating the right content for the right person and then optimizing it for the platform that you're going to share it on. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram. I also re-engaged the text option on the podcast, but with the understanding I can't respond back. So if you have a question, you want to inquire about one of the programs or working together, be sure and leave me your email address because they don't tell me who you are. They don't give me any way of connecting back or responding. So, all right, that's it for today. I'll see you back here next week. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you took away something very actionable that you can start to use in your business right away. If you want any of the freebies that were mentioned or you want any of my resources or free trainings, you can find those at edgemarketing.com/freebies. If you would like to work together, I would love to work with you. Send me a note, reply to an email, DM me on Instagram. You know how to find me. I would love to help you grow your business as well. And if you have found this podcast helpful, would you do me the biggest favor and follow it or subscribe on your podcast app of choice and then give it a rating and review? That really does help. It's just a little something you can do that helps me out in return. I appreciate it so much. I'll see you back here next week.